Hello, everybody. Good evening, good morning, and good afternoon. So it's Wednesday, 20th of May, 2026. It is time for our spiritual light. And today's topic it is emotional healing in the light of spiritism. And as you can see, Rodrigo it is with us today. So she's bringing to us good vibrations from Spain, and will join our group today. So, good evening, Rodrigo. How are you, my friend? O buenas noches, né?
Well, good evening, buenas noches, boa noite, bom dia, buenas tardes, adonde quiera que esté, para poder hacer llegar un poco del espiritismo a todos aquellos que buscan respuestas, ¿no? Es un placer y una alegría y espero que disfrutéis de este momento con nosotros, así como nosotros vamos a disfrutar estando aquí, hablando sobre el tema de hoy que es muy importante, ¿no? El balance emocional, cómo esto se manifiesta e impacta nuestra salud en todos los aspectos. Así que, como decimos en España, vamos al lío. So, good evening, good morning, good afternoon, everyone. So, hello, dear fellows here in the spiritual light, and everyone who is watching us. So it's a pleasure. I'm very happy to be here again with all of you, and hopefully we can touch your heart with the topic we'll be discussing today, which is very important for our balance. So thank you so much.
Bonsoir, Charles.
Bonsoir, Steven. Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening to everyone. Indeed, quite interesting subject today about emotional healing and seeking emotional balance, because it is something which takes more and more importance in the everyday life. Intelligence is not enough. We need also to have this capability to control, to manage, to understand our emotions, and to make the best out of them.
Wonderful, wonderful. So, let me give my brief introduction here because healing it is one of the most humanity needs. But what most of us didn't realize, healing goes beyond the body. Spiritism teaches that emotional healing begins with the spirit itself. Many emotional wounds are connected not only to present experiences, but also to fears, guilt, trauma, attachment, and spiritual imbalance accumulated over time. When I say here over time, you can understand over incarnations as well. Through prayer, moral renewal, self knowledge, charity, and spiritual assistance, healing becomes a journey of recognition with divine love. And tonight, we will explore how Spiritism helps us heal emotionally while strengthening hope, resilience, and inner peace. Okay, so first things first, since you are here with us, Rodrigo, I want to start with you. And the question is very simple. What does Spiritism teach about emotional healing?
All right. So there's a lot to speak about it. I'll try to be a little bit more precise. Otherwise, I wouldn't allow Charles or either you to speak here. There's so much to tell about that. So, but basically, our we when we are we incarnate, we let's say we get a body as a body to wear and to experience the life. So the body is matter, and everything which happens in the matter is, let's say, somehow manipulated by our mind, our thoughts, our willing, and body suffers everything we think or feel. So our body receives all the inputs that our spirit, through our perispirit, um, and accumulate that. So every time we are in a kind of imbalance, emotional imbalance, it means that we are in disharmony. Our spirit, our perispirit, they are in disharmony because somehow, what I'm telling is about, of course, some emotions that are unbalancing emotions, so like rage or fear, or whenever we get angry with something or someone or some situation in life. All of these emotions, which are like not in balance, they are in disharmony, so they create the same lack of harmony in our body, and the body feels that, and that means that sometimes it gets so, let's say, impacted with that it causes like diseases. This might come from our current life, things that we're feeling, and consciously we have, we know we have, which is affecting us. But sometimes we bring things from our past lives. So, and sometimes this is not very clear, and especially in situations where we are in contact with other people, other spirits, incarnated spirit, or even disincarnated spirits, which are not people that we feel like comfort with, emotionally speaking, which are our enemies from the past, or incarnated or disincarnated. We feel this vibration because whenever whatever we feel or whatever we think creates a vibration, and this vibration is spread through the universal fluid, and this causes disharmony in our body, and we suffer also things from others. These feelings that are from ourselves, from others, or from our past lives, they impact our body somehow. In the same way, when we are in balance, which means that we have a balanced emotion, we are under control, and we are, let's say, in harmony with what we are feeling, what we are thinking. So, especially with love, with feelings which are like upper feelings, or feelings which are connected to the divine. So, this creates harmony, and this also can heal us, can, let's say, heal these disharmonies that we have in our body. And that's interesting because what we know from Spiritism is that as long as we progress, morally speaking, and our bodies um, start living more, no, this has a connection with our feelings and our thoughts, because as soon as we are more in balance with ourselves, with things which are surrounding us, situations, people, with what we are, what we know, our hope, our faith, this also creates more balance and better vibrations, which impact positively the body. And that's why bodies, let's say, in more developed worlds, which have more developed spirits, more progressed spirits, morally speaking, they live more. they tend to live more because of this balance. I mean, everything which happens in matter has to do with what the spirit is feeling or thinking. So what we know is that matter from Spiritism is that matter was created by God to serve the spirit for to progress, and like feeling the impact of what we are thinking, or our psychological disharmony, or our emotional disharmony in our body through the diseases, is also a way, if an effect of a cause that we need to, let's say, heal in order to have more harmony in the matter. So that's what we learned from Spiritism. And then I'll allow a little bit more for Charles and Stevan to complement this answer.
Yes, wonderful. Very good introduction. So, Charles,
I
what's
mean,
your
it,
takeaway?
it's really an interesting and endless subject. Huh? And interestingly, I mean, there is, from in the 60s, appeared the notion of emotional intelligence. And it's a lot about this, because basically the emotions is part of nature. We cannot avoid them. Huh? To be surprised, or to have feel fear, or to some injustice, or anger, or whatever. It's just natural. We cannot avoid having these emotions. But the thing is, it all is about what do we do with these emotions? Huh? Are we able to perceive, to use, to manage, to control them? Or do we suffer them and we lose control? And it's all about that, so emotional intelligence. Now, and this is something which is even not directly related to Spiritism. Huh? The IQ is now a lot of times joined with EI, huh? uh, emotional intelligence. And also, now there is a newer concept, which is a spiritual intelligence, which is even a step more. But talking about these emotions, what the Spiritist body of knowledge brings is a wider view. Huh? We do not see the emotions only from a materialist or from our body point of view. Of course, you have the adrenaline, you have all these effects of the emotions that can be detected or analyzed or measured or whatever. We know, as the Spiritist body of knowledge is, we have also a soul, a spirit, and this spirit has, how to say, there are two things which are not enough taken into account by the materialist paradigm. Is the other spirits' influences can influence ourselves, even discarnated, not only incarnated. Huh? And the second thing is we had several lives, and this influence from the past life is also coming to the present life and adding into this difficulty for the emotion of getting the emotions under control. And yes, so this is, I would say, a first compliment. I will leave the rest for the next questions.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you, Charles. Welcome, my dear Silvia. How are you?
Hello, good evening. Nice to see you all.
Yeah.
Nice, Charles. Hi, Rodrigo. Lovely to see you.
Lovely to see you too.
I'm sorry I'm late again.
No worries. Unfortunately, you are here, and at least one lady in the middle of the three men today. So this is good. This is good. Okay, and and Charles. So with this introduction from Rodrigo, uh, And my introduction, because I said sometimes the healing, the root cause is not perhaps in today's life, this present life. This may coming from incarnations and incarnations. So and how works these spiritual roots? How someone can say, okay, uh, I'm suffering because it's my past life problems, and use
Yeah,
this as an excuse. You know what I mean? So I
yeah,
want to, I want to fix it, not use it as excuse to keep being the same person.
yeah. So indeed, as you told, when we have some troubles or traumas or whatever, it can come from this life, when we were younger, some things that we suffered, but it can also come from past lives, even things that we did not suffer in this life can, but in the past life, can influence our patterns, our emotions in this life. So this is one point. It's simply the law of action and reaction, or the law of cause and effect. Okay, but there is also another aspect, as I told, the spiritual influence. Sometimes you come, you meet a person, and I don't feel very well. Don't have a good feeling about this person. I do not see whatever. We have some disgust, And some other times it's the opposite. You have this natural, spontaneous sympathy, and this has also can also have roots from the past life. If it was an enemy in the past life, it will explain the first situation. And if it was, we lost Steven. If it was something we did like much in the past life, we will have this feeling of affinity. So this helps us, as we told them. The thing is to get the emotions under control, and knowing this mechanism, this is indeed helping us a lot in having these emotions under control. Of course, it's not always easy to find out when some emotions come from a past life, because generally we don't remember consciently the past life. It's we talked about this already, when the reincarnation, and it's a good thing, not to remember from the past life and all the misbehaviors or the mistakes we made in the past lives. If you would have that present permanently in our conscience in the current life, it would be quite difficult and quite heavy. So we forgive them. We forget these uh, things which are coming from the past life. But Spiritist body of knowledge teaches us to observe ourselves, know thyself, and look what the tendencies you have, the trends, the things which are creating, just awakening some emotions in you. And from observing this, it can give you some hints about what could be the type of cause coming from the past life, which is having still an effect in the present life. And from this, it helps also to think about and to see how we can overcome it. And this is also, I would say, the difference between the psychologists, which are following a spiritualist paradigm and taking these effects, these causes into account, from the psychologists which are purely based on the materialist paradigm, and they have a little bit more difficulty in understanding and analyzing and helping to overcome these traumas or these consequences that are coming from our past lives. And that is also where Spiritist body of knowledge is helping a lot.
Good.
So,
All right.
Silvia, Rodrigo, if you want to complement.
No, I think that's what you said is very interesting. I have a personal case to tell to say. So I have a phobia since I was a child. I have a phobia of chandeliers. So I could never enter a place with chandeliers in the like museums and like everything in which had like this crystal full of crystals chandeliers in these places. And I remember once I was coming, I was visiting the Catedral da Sé, which is a church in São Paulo city, beautiful one. And then I was with the school, and then I was entering in that place, and from outside I saw the chandeliers, big ones, the big ones, the ones which made me fear a lot. So and then there was a friend of mine who knew about that, and she said, "Oh, don't worry. So close your eyes. I'll come with you. When I feel that there's a place which is safe for you, for your phobia, so you can open your eyes." And then I did that. And she said that while I was passing through the corridor, I mean the main corridor of the church, although I was not looking and seeing the chandeliers, so she said that I trembled. Every time I passed under the chandeliers, I trembled. And this is, I think, is an answer also for what Charles is saying. So, because although even not seeing, the spirit and the perispirit, let's say, felt or saw or felt the presence of the chandeliers, and and that for somehow we know the phobias that we have come, if not finding a cause in this life, so comes from our past lives. So things which were traumatic situations or things that made us pass through some difficult situations which impacted us. Now we have these phobias, and my phobia most probably comes from that. I try to do regression, memory regression, to understand twice times, to understand and to try to heal this phobia. And in the second time, through the hypnosis process, my spirit told, I mean, in a kind of somnambulic status, so told the person who's a friend of mine, Antonio. Hi, Antonio. So he said, my spirit told him, hey, he cannot remember, he cannot understand what happened in the past, which is causing his phobia, because remembering things which could help him somehow could also damage, because he would need to know things that could cause more damage now than healing. So preferably he should not remember that, or should not recall what happened in the past. He will need to survive with the phobia, and then in the future he will understand that, and this will come to light. I think this illustrates very well what you are saying, Charles. I mean, things from the past, regression, the why we forget things. So that's what I would like to comment.
Thank you, Rodrigo. And dear Silvia, do you have something to add to this contribution of the spiritist body of knowledge to controlling the emotions?
Well, we know that Spiritism, that what we learn is a transformation of our lives, isn't it? Or things we can cope with. But it's interesting that you were talking about past lives and remembrances, because I'm actually a past life work therapist, and I find it strange that a therapist would, say that to you, because I have worked with very, very deep traumas, and you can always get out get this, and can be a completely healing experience. I have my own experience when I was training and I was doing work, which I have a physical pain. I had a physical pain that when I worked through the remembrance and everything of the past life, it's gone. It's different now. I never had the pain again. And I remember when it started, but I mean, it is for another program. Sometimes it depends who you work with, and you need to have very someone who really knows how to work, because it's not the memory. You will remember anyway. The fear is already is there already. And one interesting thing that's working in this field I have learned is that maybe your fear of the chandeliers is nothing to do with the chandeliers.
Yeah.
It's something that happened that maybe you saw it, and that was the memory. So next time I see you, Rodrigo, I can give you a session and we can find out.
Thank you.
But
It's an anchor. What you're saying is it's an anchor, isn't it? So the image is an anchor for something which a situation which is not. But interestingly, Silvia, it was my spirit who told the therapist that. So my spirit, for the second time, I tried to do the regression. My spirit told, "Hey, he cannot remember because this will be dangerous for him."
yeah, but
So
there is ways and ways,
yeah,
there is
I know.
ways and ways, because the memory, it's in the archive of a perispirit, is
Mhm.
there. So anyway, I don't want to talk about
Another
how I
another
work,
a
but
topic for another day.
another
Exactly.
day, yes. But I
And
find that
the
learning
thing
about,
is
sorry,
yeah, go on, Silvia.
no, you were saying something.
Yes, the thing is when to find out the trauma from the past is one thing, but now how to fix it, what to do with this information in the
Yeah,
present life, that's another thing.
But
yeah,
that's the thing that you do, because you see, in reality, even though we think we don't know, we don't remember, and many things we don't remember, but some kind of phobias that something in this life awakens it. Then you have the memory, the feeling of it, and it's exactly the point what you do with the information. And that's why you have to have a therapist who knows what to do with that and how to help you go through it.
yeah,
That is the main thing, is because finding out is the easiest thing. You can close your eyes and you see it. Sometimes the way people talk, the way they describe certain things, you already know who their past life was or what happened. You're going to do that. But going back to what the Spiritist teaches us, it does say we do need, to have this kind of veil in a way, because I don't think um, it's not a completely forgetfulness of what was, but we learn certain skills that helps us, and throughout this life it's very easy to assess because we know it anyway, and we only remember the things that were traumatic. You don't come up, in therapy, because that's the intent, is in therapy. um, you never have a happy life coming up in therapy. Usually it's the ones that you have trauma and unfinished business with. And Spiritism teaches us that we need to have this um, kind of veil, because we need to survive, don't we? We need to have relationships. And we know that many times we will return to families, to people that have in the past have done something to us, or we've done something to them, or there is a tragedy, or sometimes we haven't done the things we should have done, and all sorts of things that can be part of our character. And I think what Spiritism teaches us is that, concentrate and going forward and learning, because then we will have answers to things, and it gives us a sense of who we are, where we came from. And if we can't cope, we cannot find the reason now. We will find afterwards, because I think there is a lot of it's very, very common that there is sometimes members of a family, that we cannot stand. I thank God I don't have this experience. I think I'm very blessed, but I have known families that they absolutely detest one another, and it's not. They can live quite easily in the family, but all their friendships is outside of the family. It's really interesting, and we know that we go through some of this experiences, isn't it? Because we need to learn what happened in the past, because normally we think, oh, someone did this for me in the past. We never assume that we were the ones who did the negative thing in the past, and I think this is it is a kind of also a kind of responsibility that we think, let's be friends, let's make things easier. I think going to one of the chapters of the gospel, where it said, one of the teachings are love your enemies, and how the Spirit teaches us that we cannot love our enemies physically. It's not possible. And I think it's really very interesting. This is one of the most interesting, I think, chapter 11, if I'm not mistaken, because it says physically you cannot love someone that harms you, but it says don't wish them any harm. Don't want vengeance against them. If they try to be friends, ease the path towards being. But we have to understand that if we have something in the past with someone, or even in this life, we're not going to love them. It's just not wish them any harm. And I think it is such an incredible teaching within the Spiritist teachings, because it says for us, yes, you understand that even physically, you cannot love someone that has done harm to you, but you cannot wish them any harm. You cannot be unfriendly. Keep them at distance if you need to, but don't wish them any harm, or be happy if something nasty happens to them. And if they try to change, open the path. And I think this is very, very special, because it clears a lot of the problems that we have in the past. The funny thing is, one of the examples that you gave, Charles, I have had an experience of meeting someone that it was quite, big story. I won't tell you here now, but I was supposed to meet this person, and I saw her from very far away. She came to the station to pick me up from very, very far away. There were hundreds of people in the station, in the platform. I got off the train, and I looked, and I saw the person, and she had her back towards me. And I said, if it's that woman, I will not going to stay with her. I will not going to be stay. I hadn't even looked at her face. And of course, she saw me from the distance. She came straight away to talk to me. And I don't know what happened. I can't explain the feeling, but I just had the feeling that I needed to get away from her. Move away. Don't stay near the person. Move away. And I did. And I said, I'm sorry, I'm not going to stay here. Next, I didn't sleep. Actually, I didn't sleep. 5 o'clock in the morning, I left, and it was such. Now that I know about Spiritism and things, maybe I missed an opportunity to patch up things from the past, because it was an absolutely feeling that I need to get away from that person. So it does happen. And now, had been now that I know a little bit about Spiritism, I probably would have I would try to talk to the person and befriend, try to find out more and not have that feeling completely take me over. And I think many of us, have this kind of experiences, isn't it? That you meet someone from the past that it sort of touches you in such a strong way, It's like your chandeliers. You're terrified of it. It's a completely unconscious fear, isn't it?
Yeah.
You don't know
Yes.
why you are afraid. And I think this is the word feeling, because it's almost irrational and illogical, but you can't help feeling it, isn't it? I don't know if anyone ever had an experience like that.
I had, and I think charity is the how can I say this, the way to solve that. I think there's a question for that, isn't it, Stevan? Stevan?
Yes, we do have. I'm just thinking about which question.
The tree, I think the tree. How does charity
Uh,
contribute to healing?
yes.
So
Perfect
that could
question.
be that could be a question to Silvia, maybe, because
So there you go.
with
That's the question. How does charity contribute to healing?
Well, I think charity, if we are able to have charity, it makes a lot of difference for us, isn't it? Because it would enter in a point of forgiveness, or being charitable enough to allow someone um, to to let go of something that maybe hurt us, or some anger that we have, or and to have a new understanding. Maybe, the person who offended you or did something, maybe they didn't mean to say what they did or to do what they did. If we look at this in a kind of a charitable way, and look at the other person's point of view, even if we find, no, they did this because it was out of cruelty, I think the charity within us will let us know, well, that's their problem, not mine. I am only responsible for the things that I do. The other person is responsible for what they do. And to have this idea, to have this charitable idea, and charity, I think, has to start, like love has to start within ourselves. We have to be loving and kind and charitable to ourselves to be able to have this charity to others. And it helps us because it sustains us, makes us understand other people's point of view, and if nothing else, helps us to clear from ourselves anger, hatred, desire for vengeance, because otherwise, this kind of feelings that we may have for other people is like a big bag of rocks, isn't it, that we carry in our back. Because when we hate someone, when we desire harm to them, we want vengeance, we can't forget them. We remember them all the time. It's a nightmare. It's like, ooh, this idea. So if you are able to let go of it, said, it doesn't belong to me. They were nasty, they were rude. Yes, they were. But they are responsible for their attitude. And I think having the sense of charity and loving and forgiveness, we clear ourselves. And the other person, if they meant to be cruel, they will respond for that. And I think, something I've read, I was listening to the other day about Chico, said, the whatever harm the person does, it's already harmed them first, isn't it? Because if we do anything that's good, it makes us feel better. And if the person does something, or we ourselves, if we do something that's not nice, and if we were rude, or in a moment of, there was a problem, which is quite sad, we can always say, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to hurt you. And we can go and ask for forgiveness in our side. And if they ask for forgiveness, we are able to give it. And if they don't, the harm they do is already their own, not payment. I don't know which word I could use for that. But
Consequence.
it weighs on them, isn't it? I find.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah,
don't know if
One
you
thing.
answer the question.
yeah. I would say, my dear, it's important to say that the charity we talking about here, it is charity in order to support the other, give your love to the other, stay with them, listen them, be compassionate with them. Not just the charity. Okay, I do a check, I give money, and that's it. Oh, I did a lot of charity here. So that's not the charity we're talking about here. You know. So
Yeah. One
you
thing that I would like to mention here, to add into what you have said, is that love is the language of God. I mean, so love is the power. I mean, the how God created everything. So, including us, we are created by God and we are divine. So, every time and of course, love is harmony, is balance, is forgiveness, is, it's everything which is good. Whenever I don't feel love, I feel unbalanced. And of course, when I feel and I'm in imbalance, I'm in disharmony, this creates the I mean the diseases and everything. Every time we feel ourselves with love, that's the healing power, because we are not created to suffer. We are created for happiness, and happiness has to do with harmony, peace, everything which is calm, caring each other. So charity is the expression of love. So the real charity is the expression of love. So every time we practice charity with love, we are filling ourselves with love, and this love will heal us. So, and what we are exercising here, which is what the Spiritist bar of knowledge says, is that we are here to learn how to love, genuinely. So, how to love the same way Jesus taught us. And when we love, of course, we understand others can be in their situation, in their progress stage, and they can harm us. But they do that because they're a child, spiritually speaking. So, and then we can practice indulgence. We can practice forgiveness, because forgiving is not forgetting. Forgiving is looking at what someone did and not feeling bad about it, not allowing this to harm us or to cause disharmony in us. So this has to do with love. Whenever we practice charity with love, we fill ourselves with love, and then we get healed. So that's why when people come to the Spirit Center, uh, sometimes people arrive only for the healing session. We know we have on Saturdays we have the studies. We study the Spirit's book, and then we have the healing session. And then sometimes people arrive only for the healing session, and we say, no,
Mhm.
it's important for you to come and to listen and to study with us first, because the healing session, of course, it has a powerful effect, but it's not healing anything. So the healing, the real healing comes from our transformation. When we get to be good people. And then sometimes people go, they have the healing session, they study, and then sometimes they stop coming to the Spirit Center. And then some time ago they come back again, because that is not the healing session is not end of the line. So the healing session is when we receive love from others, we fill ourselves with love from others, and then from the spirits, from the healers, and then we get, it's like a medicine for us to like to get to stand up again, to look ahead and see, okay, what should I do now? So it's a strength for us to move forward. When we think that this is the healing itself, so people stop coming to the spiritual center, or stop studying, or stop praying, and everything comes back again, because the real healing comes from our moral transformation. So that's why when people come, you say, hey, the real healing is the first part, is the study. The healing session is just a complement. It's just to help you standing, to pass through the situations you need to pass in life, to transform yourself, and then to promote in yourself the real healing, which is developing love, genuine love, our capacity to love, and to fill ourselves with love, and then we get healed. That's the real healing. That's why charity is so important, because charity is the expression of love, the love which starts in ourselves. And when we are with love in ourselves, we get healed.
Beautiful. Charles?
Yes, indeed. It's very interesting. And of course, one reaction is if you suffer something, it's more the problems from the one who makes the other suffer than from the one which is suffering, because in terms of conscience, it's not the same responsibility. And of course, the charity is definition, as per question 886 of the Spirit's book, is benevolence for everyone, indulgence for the imperfections of the others, and forgiveness of the offenses. We are all imperfect, so we need this. Otherwise, we cannot work together. We cannot live together. It would not be possible. And to help also in this way, when, for instance, there is a person, or even in the family sometimes, where in which you deposit a lot of hope and so on, and all of a sudden this person deceives you through a wrong attitude or something like this. What is the best way to understand this? It's because I think we have no indicator here of the level of evolution of our soul, isn't it? And we discover this evolution of the soul, one from the other, through our attitude, through our capacity to love, as Rodrigo just explained right now. And when someone deceives you, the reaction is, okay, I deposited a lot of hope in this person, but now I discover some of the aspect of this person. And then you can analyze, what can I do? Shall I stay? Shall I go? Or can I do something to help this person or whatsoever? Because you see the person as yourself, as someone who still has some imperfections to fight against. And we know also through the law of evolution from the Spiritist body of knowledge is we all will progress. And we need to progress, the other need to progress. And the best we have to do is to help one another to progress. Because healing, as Rodrigo said very well, the goal of the Spiritist is to heal the soul before healing the body. Because sometimes an illness of the body is here to heal the soul. And even dying from an illness of the body, because anyhow we will have to die one day or the other, sooner or later. When we reach the spiritual world, we see our mentor receiving us there and saying, hey, did you see your cancer or your illness you had healed your soul, helped to heal your soul. So the essential is in our evolution, because that's the main goal of the reincarnation. And seeing also the things through having, let's say, a little bit more distant view on all this mechanism, it helps us a lot also to get the emotions under control and to find the emotional balance.
That's it. Well said, Charles. And I think this is important for us to understand. I think the phrase of the day it is, you need to heal your soul. That's the phrase for today. We do have 5 minutes to wrap up. So, ladies first, my dear Silvia, your final comments.
Well, it's interesting the question of the healing yourself, isn't it? Because if we read throughout the Gospels, when Jesus was doing a lot of healing, he would always say, "What do you want me to do for you?" And he would always say, "Your faith has healed you." And I think like Rodrigo was saying, the people, it's important for them to come for the study, because while they're studying makes them think, meditate, and they already working their own healing, because we cannot heal anybody. They heal themselves, isn't it? And I think what Charles said as well, we are here to heal our souls. This is very true, because that's the purpose of life, that we come into this world. And Rodrigo said something as well, which I agree with, and I think is very important. Although sometimes people disagree with that. We were born to be happy. We were born, and we know how difficult it is, in the spiritual world, to be able to get the opportunity to reincarnate. So life is precious, and we are here going through a series of lessons, which most probably we asked for. We have to remember that many times we participate in the planning of our incarnation, and we ask for things. And this is all lessons that we have to go through to heal our spirits, to develop our knowledge, to intellectual knowledge, our goodness, our moral standing, and to heal our souls. Yeah, I think that's like you said, Stevan, to heal our souls we are here for.
Yes.
It's one of the main purposes anyway, isn't it?
It is. It is. Rodrigo?
Well, I think Silvia said everything. So, real happiness, it's, I will rephrase what the Spiritists responded to Kardec. The happiness possible in this life is having the necessary, materially speaking, having clean consciousness and hope in the future. So happiness in this life is a perspective. So if you see happiness in learning, in evolving, in growing, in progressing, in this, you feel, as Silvia said, so this life will sound, will look beautiful. But then when we don't have this perspective, and that's why Spiritism fights against materialism, is when we suffer, because then we tend to look at this life in a different perspective, and then things, if you don't get comfort, comfortable situation, materially speaking, and then you feel unhappy. So of course we came to be happy, but which kind of happiness? So that's what Spiritism teaches us, and that's how we get healed, when we understand that, when we practice love, when we do good, and when we transform ourselves in more evolved spirits.
That's it. So, to wrap up our meeting today, our friend Charles.
Yeah, so very well done, Rodrigo. It's exactly this. And what I personally found in the Spiritist body of knowledge are resources in order to raise in emotional intelligence, and even more to raise also in spiritual intelligence, to make positive use of adversity, to relativize these problems and difficulty, all these terrible things we are seeing around the world nowadays. And the Spiritist body of knowledge really gives a lot of strengths and arguments and hints of how to cope with all these difficulties, how to get all this under control. And this is indeed changing completely the life. When I'm comparing before and today, of course, I'm far from being perfect, but at least a lot of things I got under control, thanks to this Spiritist body of knowledge, which is bringing us in the spiritualist paradigm, seeing the earthly things from a little bit more distance, not controlling all the emotions which are raising from these earthly things, because we know that they are not eternal, that we will have to leave them the day we go back to the spiritual world. And this indeed helps a lot in order to face and to overcome all these natural difficulties of life.
Perfect. Okay. So let me go to our announcements today. And this is it. So next week we will have our friend Munir Garibo with us, and the topic is Inner Peace in a Busy World, learning to calm the mind and the heart. I need that. I really need it. So next week, 9 p.m. London time, you can join us.
Stevan,
Yeah.
the date is written 24th of June.
Oh, probably picked the wrong one.
Yeah.
24th of June is indeed Wednesday.
Yeah, perhaps I say, yeah. My mistake, everybody. So
The date should be the 27th of May.
yeah. For sure is Munir with us, but probably not this topic.
Another good topic.
Yes, another good topic. Yeah, exactly. Okay. Thank you, Charles. Every Saturday, 10 a.m., 10:30 a.m., we do have the Mediums book study, online study with Charles, Munir, and Guilherme. Every other Sunday, we have the study group. Finding your true self is one of the study group. So from 8:30 p.m. to 10 p.m. London time. So the 9th European Gathering Spiritist group, it is on the 18th to 20th of September. So anyone is more than welcome. We're gonna be there. So join us. Keep reading Spiritism magazine. It's free. Always a wonderful article. Thanks to Kardec Radio, to Buzz, to Life Spiritist Society, the Irish Spirit Federation, and Francophonic Spiritist Movement. And I just realized I uploaded the wrong file because it is missing here Elsa's talk on the 23rd in Greece. So let me see if I can pull that here, because it is a great achievement for us. And this is the reason Elsa is not here with us today, because she's traveling to Greece. So this is the flyer. So the talk gonna be in Telephanos in Athens on the 23rd from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. local time. And the topic is Asclepius and spiritual healing, a bridge between transition. I doubt, Rodrigo, you can read what's reading here. See? I can read it. Asclepius and spiritual healing. Huh? So it's good. Also, we're
Stevan.
gonna have other people joining this.
Steven?
Yeah.
Well, next week, the topic with Munir is mediumship with responsibility and balance.
That's very good. Silvia likes this
Good
topic.
subject. I just sent
Silvia
you.
likes this
Good
topic.
topic. Yeah.
I just sent you the flyer.
Thank you. Silvia
It's a
likes
very
this topic.
important topic.
Yeah.
There is no
yeah.
other way to do mediumship without responsibility, the education, is there? It's impossible.
Exactly.
So this is it. So that's the live show. What's happening? Wrong flyer, new flyer. So everything is happening.
That's
So,
life.
Yes. So I want to say thank you for your time. Thank you for your patience. Thank you, Hipólito. Thank you, Riala Rom, for being here with us. Thank you, everyone who joined us today. And I'll be here with my fellow friends next week at 9 p.m. to talk about mediumship with Munir. Okay?
Great.
Thank you. Enjoy the rest of your night.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Good night.
Bye-bye.
God
God
bless
bless
you
you
all.
all.
Take care of
Deus
yourselves.
bendiga.